everyone, and today we are going to be closing the book on season 1 of the Backyardigans. Today I'm going to be ranking all of the episodes from this season. Now, let this be known, this is kind of like a top 20 list, but kind of not. But at first I was thinking of doing a top 5, but my top 5 just kept on changing and changing and changing and changing. But I just decided to not to just rank all the episodes in this season, and I'm also gonna be doing this when we finish with season 2, 3, and 4. So I will say, before we get onto this list, this is my personal opinion. If you feel like a certain episode should be ranked higher or ranked lower, or if you feel like what I'm saying about the episode you don't agree with, that's fine. This is just coming from my own personal opinion. That's it. I just hope you can feel the same way, you know? I don't want to make people feel like I'm trying to, doubt their favorite episodes, because, like I said, season 1 will always leave a special place in my heart, and none of these episodes in this seasons are bad. The few lower ranked episodes in this season, I'm not saying it because they're bad. I just feel like they're good in their own ways, but I feel like they kind of get overshadowed by certain other episodes that I ranked much higher on my list. So, without any further ado, let's get started. This is me, Kimura, ranking all 20 episodes from the very first season of the Backyardigans. Let's get started. Coming in at number 20, we have The Quest for the Flying Rock. Now, this episode, I do enjoy it, but if you remember my review, I was not really the nicest to it. I kind of had a lot of things to say, and they weren't really positive. They weren't really on the positive side. And that's not what my channel's about. I like talking about the good things, but to be honest, there was a lot of negative to talk about and less positive, and I didn't really like that, because honestly, alone this episode with the music is good. It's just that like I said, I will always complain about this, but the music and the funny scene and the book reading part at the beginning and the part where they were flying at the end always amazed me as a kid, and it still does. But there's just this negative feeling in the back of my mind whenever I watch it, even as a grown teenager. Their argument scene at the end just still makes me a teeny bit aggravated. You broke it. No, you broke it. I still don't really like that. But that doesn't mean it's a bad episode. Like I said, it's just, like I said, it kind of gets overshadowed, and it's not really, out of all the Pablo, Tyrone, Unique One, Tasha episodes, this one is by far the weakest one. And I feel like they should have worked together. And once again, Austin should have been in it. Should have been in it I feel like it would have made things much better. I feel like he should have been like this guardian or something. So, yes, my lowest ranked episode of this season is The Quest for the Flying Rock. But that doesn't mean it's a bad episode. I still find it good at times. I have a love-hate relationship with it. Almost as I have a good love-hate relationship with this next episode. Coming in at 19 on the list, we have Eureka. Now, this episode, like I said before, I have a love-hate relationship with it, but I do see more good things with it than The Quest for the Flying Rock, And once again, like the previous episode, the main reason why it's good is the music, basically the whole setting of it. Honestly, to be honest, the previous episode setting was a little bit boring now that I think about it. But we're talking about this episode. This episode, it's good for the most part, but honestly, I see some greedy aspects from it, especially from the boys. Like, basically, at a kid's perspective, it'll be like, oh, they're just looking for gold. But no, now that I'm an adult, I'm trying not to get too unpositive here, but this basically in a kid version comes to show you what greed can do to people. Like, it can show, like, their not so good side. And that's not what I like to see from the Backyardigans. That's not what I like to see. The girls are safe because they're scientists, and honestly, scientists, that's an everyday thing of theirs, like paleontologists, stuff like that. But it does have a lot of funny moments in this episode, like with Pablo and his like little thing, and especially the little Clementine donkey. She's really, really cute. I apologize because in the review I call it a horse. It's not a horse, it's a donkey. I'm sorry. I should have corrected that, but I just, as a kid, she kind of looks like a horse, but no, she is a donkey. But yeah, like I said for the previous one, this episode is still good. It just kind of gets overlooked by other ones, you know? But it's still good. And you'll be surprised by the next choosing on my list, because honestly, I thought this next episode was going to be ranked above the Quest for the Flying Rock, but no. Like I said, when I did this review of the next episode, I came to appreciate it. So, I came to appreciate it. And that episode is coming in at number 18 on our list. We have Monster Detectives. I thought this was going to get ranked pretty low, but, I mean, it kind of is, but mainly it's ranked low for my personal opinion because of the trauma it gave me as a kid. Like, if you remember my review, like, I was talking a lot about the trauma that I actually had to create a whole new clip at the end to explain, to talk about my funny moments. That just comes to show you how much this episode basically scared me as a kid and avoided me from soccer balls for a while. But other than that, this episode is really good. The 60s rock music is really, well, it's rocking. And Tyrone is the monster detective. I like that. And I still can't see how all of them transforming into monster detectives at the end is a happy ending. Another one of the main reasons why it's ranked pretty low. Now, I was gonna rank it, you know, at first I thought Quest for the Flying Rock and Monster Detectives were gonna be switched, but because the Backyardigans, they're not really about bad endings, they're about happy endings, you know. I was originally gonna rank it low because this episode didn't really have a particular good ending. It didn't really have a good ending, you know, but I came to appreciate it a bit more. And you know that saying that goes, you know, I think there's two sayings, like, everybody has a monster inside of us, and I think that's how it goes. And the other one, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And basically Tyrone was, let's say, the soccer monster was basically the enemy in this episode. Not really, but honestly, thinking back on it now, I kind of felt sorry for Pablo, because there was moments, now that I'm older, I felt really bad for him, you know, when he says, why can't I find anyone to play soccer with? Like, I felt for him. I felt for him, man. I felt for him. That just made me want to slap my little kid brain in the face, like, come on. Why would you be so scared? That penguin literally wants somebody to play with. Like, I feel so bad for him, and I still kind of do now. And, you know, it wasn't really a happy ending, so it gets ranked pretty low, you know? But not as low as I thought, because I came to appreciate it, you know? And, of course, we have that moment where, like, I don't care. That's my favorite soccer ball, and I'm gonna get it back. Now let's go. And then the music gets started, like, and she's like, you know, like, where are we going? Like I said, if only that would have happened one more time in this series, I would not mind. I wouldn't mind. But, yeah, Monster Detectives is ranked 18 on my list. Coming up at number 17 on our list, we have Race to the Tower of Power. I do really like this episode. I do. As the first superhero episode, I thought it was going to be ranked pretty low, but, I mean, it kind of is. It's at this our 17th spot. But it is really good. But up against the other episodes I chosen, you know, it's good. But I feel like it's good it would be good if it wasn't up against other episodes, because this season has like a lot of episodes that I really like. That's why it was kind of hard for me to make this list. This episode, I will say, this was one of the episodes that kept on going up and down on my list. But once again, I will say, just like for Monster Detectives, I kind of have a bit of trauma from this episode, because I have a fear of characters getting shrunken, and I didn't really like that back in the day. Which is weird, because I love Alvin and the Chipmunks, and I love high-pitched voices. They're so cute. Like, you make a character high pitched nowadays, I love it. So cute. But yeah. But I do like it with all the salsa music, in Austin's tiny voice, and how he like, you'll never get the key, and then the villains are like, what? And then Unique's has to translate for them. And then she says, he said you'll never get the key. And once again, I will keep on saying this to the day I'm gone. This episode should have gotten a sequel. This is one of the reasons why it's not really that high. I feel like if this episode would have gotten a sequel, it would have made, it would have made like a better conclusion, because we barely got to see them in their reformed, like more of their reformed selves. You'll find out more about, if you want to hear me talk more about why this episode got a sequel, go watch my review of this episode and you'll find out why. But yeah, it's a good episode, but it's not really that high. Like I said before, it's kind of overshadowed, but it's still a good episode. This episode, I feel so bad that it's this low, because honestly, it is a really good penultimate episode of this season. Coming up at number 16, we have K-Party. This episode is really, really good, and I said back in my review, I have a lot of nostalgia to it, but I'm sorry, this episode just got ranked pretty low, and I feel so bad, because this episode is really good, It's really nice. It's a really good episode. It's really good. The like the rumba music, all the songs are immaculate in this episode. Yet it's ranked pretty low, which I feel so bad for. I feel so bad. I really do feel bad about it. I'm so sorry. For those of you who love this episode, I get it. I get why you love it so much, but it got ranked pretty low. I'm so sorry, because it got foreshadowed. I'm sorry. But overall, this is a really good episode, and it has a lot of funny moments. One of my favorite panic attacks from Pablo. All the funny and all the times they think of inventions, the drumming song, the hokey pokey at the end. Just I have so much sentimental value with this episode, and yet it's ranked so low. So I'm basically mad at myself. I'm very mad at myself at this one. But trust me, this is nothing compared to the other episodes that we have coming up next. As soon as we get to the 15th spot, I'm telling you, these next few episodes are kept on going up and down on my list. Up and down, up and down. But it was hard for me to make up my mind, but I think I did the right thing. So, let's get on to our halfway mark. Well, not really halfway mark. We only did like 5 episodes. Mid halfway mark, kind of, not really. I don't know. But yeah, let's get on to our 15th spot. Next at number 15, we have Secret Mission. I do really like this episode. I do. I mean, it has a lot of good songs, like a really good songs. This song always gets me in the groove. It gets me in the groove every single time. But like I said, it's kind of foreshadowed. This episode kept on moving up and down. But then I remembered. This episode kind of gave me an eerie vibe. If you want to know more about it, just go look at my review. But I will say, out of the 3 episodes in this season, after all, there's only 2 episodes. This is by far the best one. This is by far the best trio episode in this season. I mean, we only had 2. And, yeah, don't be surprised of how many trio episodes we get next season. Yeah, I'll let you decide. But this episode is really good. It was really good. I was gonna do this when I got into when I did my review. I forgot to do it, but I'll do it. I'll do it for you. We do what we do and we don't ask permission. We're secret agents on a secret mission. Shh, shh. Secret agent. I did it for y'all. But yes, this episode is really good. Minus the eeriness as it gave me as a kid. It's still a really good episode and is one of the best trio episodes in the season. Or heck, even than this show by far. If I was ranking trio episodes, comment below if you want me to do that. This one will be ranked like super high. And as for Monster Detectives, I will say, it'll probably be a very low rating if I had to just rank only trio episodes. So, yeah. But overall, good episode. But once again, it just gets foreshadowed. It gets foreshadowed. Coming in at number 14, we have the Snow Fort. This episode is really good. It is a really nice episode, but once again, it kind of gets foreshadowed, But it is really good. I love the songs in this episode, but I must ask 2 things. Do you believe in my little theory I made in that episode? Do you agree with it? Like I said, if you don't, then that's cool. If you do, then that's okay too, I feel like these 2 episodes have some sort of connection, and they take place in the same day as the Yeti. I don't know why. Maybe that's just me. I mean, what wouldn't be a coincidence if we have 2 episodes in a row that feature the same cast of characters, and they're both in technically the same place of the frozen north. I mean, what coincidence is that not? Gotta be honest with y'all. But and my second question is, who's in control? Ski Patrol is in control, saving people, that's our goal. Ski Patrol is in control, Ski Patrol to the rescue. Ski Patrol to the rescue. Okay. Can I not? No, I cannot. Yes, I can. Okay. But anyway, the Snow Fort coming in at number 14. It is really good, but once again, it kind of gets overshadows. Speaking of overshadow, the next episode here, I feel so bad that it's ranked this low because I had so much praise for this episode when I reviewed it. But like I said, up against the other episodes I've chosen, I feel so bad. Coming up next, we have Race Around the World. I feel so bad, man. And as our first Austin-centric episode, like, Austin shines in this episode, and I am stabbing myself verbally, not mentally. I feel so bad because this episode was really good. This episode did the case of showing his character perfectly. Like I said, if you want to hear me go more in depth, once again, go look at my review of the episode. Still, I feel so bad that I have to rank this episode this low because it's a good episode. It is. It is. I feel so bad. Almost as much I feel about the next one. I keep on topping myself every time, but these next 2 episodes, I feel so bad that these are ranked this low. Before we get on to it, good episode. Love the music. Austin is so kind in this episode. He's so sweet. He's so nice. But once again, he basically helps his friends. That's basically like, look, I know how much I wanted to win this race, but my friends come first. My friends are more important, man. My friends are more important. And just, I feel so bad I had to rank this low. But anyway, I'm going to try and forget about that. It's a good episode. It's good for what it is. Even though it's ranked this low, I still see it as a really good Austin-centric episode. If I was to rank Austin-centric episodes, this one would probably be in my top 5. Faux show. Coming in at number 12, we have Knights Are Brave and Strong. Now this one, fun fact, this was actually the very first episode to air in the US because it featured all 5 characters. And also, like, I will say, as a royal episode, as our second royal episode in a row, it is really good, but I feel like some things kind of fall flat, it kind of falls flat thinking about it now, but it's still a really good episode. It's still really, really, really good, I love all the songs, like A Message, like the song PU. Fun fact, in the song PU, when Pablo goes, and I don't feel so well, on the album, he doesn't talk it. And I'll do it. Instead of talking, he goes, and I don't feel so well. He hits that high note. He hits it. Shout out to Sean Curley. Shout out to him. But, past the fun facts. This is a really good episode. And, I guess you'll know later on. I guess you'll find out where our first royal centric episode is placed on my list. But we'll talk about that when we do. And now we have one more episode left before we get to our top 10. And that episode is Surf's Up. Now this episode, it is beautiful. I love it so much. The settings, the songs in this episode is just, it's so nice. Sometimes I watch like particular Backyardigans episodes during like particular parts of like the year, and this one you could bet I'm watching this episode on repeat during the summer vacation. You could bet your bones I do. Everything about this episode is just so nice, and I feel so bad it's not in my top 10. I don't know why, but I did say that this episode is really good for season 1 standards. I feel like if this episode were to go against like other episodes in the series, let's say International Super Spy, another Pablo-centric episode. Fun fact, he actually wears the same outfit, and so does Uniqua in that episode too, from this episode. But yeah. But it is a really good episode. I just feel like this is one of the main reasons why it's good, but I feel like it would kind of get overlooked if it would be compared by other episodes in this season along with other episodes in the show in general, you know? And as with that, let us get to our top 10 of this list. And starting at top 10, we have the first episode itself, Pirate Treasure. Now, as a very first episode, I feel like it did an amazing job. Once again, Tasha's not in it. I feel like Tasha was in it. I feel like it would have been ranked a little bit higher if Tasha was in it. But hey, I mean, what type of a person would I not be to include the first episode of my top 10 list? Like I said, it's a really good start to the series. You know, things to come. Even though one episode was absent. It's okay. It's good. It's really good. It's really, really good. You know, it is a good episode. I like it. And like, as a girl who likes pirates, you know, I feel like this episode deserves to be in a top 10 spot, you know? Pirates are one of my few obsessions that I don't really talk about as much. I feel like I only talk about pirates, like, when the Backyardigans are involved, because I feel like they do the pirate game right. I mean, I do want to talk about more pirate things on my channel. But anyway, this episode deserves the top 10 spot, and I feel like it was a perfect way to start off this series, and to become the show that it is, that it became to be. So, yeah, Pirate Treasure, you earned this top 10 spot, and I would not change it for any episode whatsoever. Now, on to our next episode. Coincidentally, we have the second episode of the series, The Heart of the Jungle. Now, as we all know, this episode started the Into the Thick of It! Into the Thick of It! And actually, they actually made a remake of the song on their YouTube channel, you know, with the little reboot they got going on. I will say, I know how much people love the original, but I like the reboot in its own way. I like it. I'm not gonna be one of those people that say I dislike it. If you dislike it, that's totally fine. Like, but I knew for a fact if they were gonna try to reboot the show, it wouldn't hold up to the same animation. I mean, that animation is from the early 2000s, so it wouldn't really translate as good today. It would be kind of quote unquote cheesy. But away from that, this episode is really beautiful. The orchestra in this episode is just so beautiful. This episode with its music, it gave off some strong Wonder Pets vibes. Easter egg for later. I love it so much. And once again, Wormans are involved. I love the Wormans so much. I love the Wormans. And just all the songs in this episode. Re-listening to one of the songs, It's Raining, It's Pouring. That song always makes me like feel like I always play that song whenever it's raining outside, you know? At first, I didn't really think much of it. It's like, it's an okay song. But no, I really do like it. I do like it. You know, and Austin's, you know, you call this a little, it's up to my middle. Well, what do you call it? A mess. Classic Season 1, early Austin. Classic Austin. But anyway, this episode is good. And, yes, it is a really good episode. For the second episode, even though no Tasha, it was really good. It was really good. It was really good. Coming next, at our number 8 spot, we have the legendary Polka Palace Party. Now, this episode, I love it mostly for its music. Like, you will catch me bouncing along to this music anytime. Like, I do not care. And yes, I will do it right now. And I'm not embarrassed to do this. Yip, 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 yip. Dance to the worm and polka. Yip, 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 yip. Dance to the worm and polka. Yip, 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 yip. Dance to the worm and polka. Yip, 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 yip. Dance to the worm and polka. Like, how could you tell me not? How could you say that is an annoying song? For those who see it as an annoying song, please, the door is open. The door is open. You can walk. You can leave if you don't want to hear it. You can leave. Like, the door is open. The door is open. You can leave. But on a serious note, this episode, I love it so much for its music. Its funny gags. The situations the character got themselves into were so funny, but at the same time, just so cleverly done. Just classic Backyardigans humor at the fullest. It's so good. It's really nice. I love it so much. You know? It's a really good episode, and the music in this episode is perfect. Somebody commented on a person named Josh Jose Lang, I think that's his name. He uploads Backyardigans songs from each episode. Go subscribe to him. He's a really good person. Somebody commented on the reprise version at the end of the Worm and Polka and said that Austin was in this. They theorized Austin. This episode was made because Austin was in our first cowgirl cowboy related episode coming up next later on this list. But I mean, I can see it, you know. But honestly, I kind of wish Tasha was in it. But honestly, there's not really a role for her to play. But anyway, yeah, Polka Palace Party takes my number 8 spot. We're almost at a number 5 spot. We only got 2 more left. Coming in at number 7, we have It's Great to Be a Ghost. This one I love so very much. I love this one very much. Once again, it is really good. I do feel kind of bad for Tyrone in this episode, and I don't think about this now, but I kind of felt like back in the day Tasha was being a little bit mean to him, but rewatching it now, I kind of feel like she was being mean. I kind of feel like she was kind of being mean to Tyrone and she didn't really notice. So I don't really count her as bad. But, you know, at first I thought about that because, like I said in the review, when she called him a scaredy cat in the song, what's so scary about that? And how she kept on saying behind Tyrone's back, like how the others kept on saying, oh, Tyrone's really scary. And then she says, Tyrone, if you say so. Like, to me back then, that felt really mean. I felt like she was being a mean girl, but no, she's not anymore. No, Tasha stand for the win. Tasha stand over here. She is not bossy. She's a really nice girl. Well, hippo. She's a really nice hippo. But anyway, this episode this episode is perfect to play around the Halloween season. It is perfect. It is the perfect thing. You know, I love it so much. Hide and go boo. The whole aesthetic of the whole haunted house is beautiful. That voice at the end that just like, and they're like, who wants snacks at my house? And they're like, let's get out of here. No kidding. Like, literally, I would be out there running too. Trust me. But, yeah. And, of course, we cannot forget. I did it before my review, and I'll be happy enough to do it again. Boo. Ah! Boo. Ah! Boo. Ah! I swear, that moment gets me every single time. It gets me laughing every single time. I feel myself choking on my own spit. I'm sorry. But yeah, It's Great to Be a Ghost is happily taking my 7th spot. All right, coming in at our number 6 spot, we have the season finale itself, High Tea or the Tea Party. I feel like this was a really, really good way to close out the series. why am I keep on saying series? The first season, like I said, go watch my high tea slash the tea party review, and you will see that it has everything to a season finale it needs to the very first season. Like, think about it. To be honest, if the show didn't get renewed for 3 more seasons, I felt like this would have been a good way to like end off the show. I mean, think about it. Because like, if this show didn't get the popularity it did, I feel like this would have been a great way to just end a series off like that. Even if it did end off one season. I mean, come on. I feel like it did a great job. It had amazing songs, amazing choreography, beautiful settings, and 2 characters who finally get the spotlight at the end. Spoiler alert, it's going to be the same way for them at the actual factual series finale. But we'll talk about that way later on. So, the tea party, or high tea, is happily taking my 6th spot, which means we are on to our top 5 people. And this next episode, I was really thinking of putting at my number 6 spot, but no. I feel like if I would be a cruel person if I did not put this episode at least in my top 5. At least in my top 5. So, coming in at number 5, we have the folks in my kingdom work hard every day. They go home to their dark little huts. Some say a princess should live like her people, but I reply, what are you, nuts? We have Key to the Nile, the episode that involved all 5 characters. And like I said before, out of 2 of the royal episodes we got this season, this one is by far the best. It just has Tasha. I know she's not the nicest at the part, but like I said, as a Tasha stan, I cannot help it. She's giving me, she's giving Egyptian, she's giving Cleo the Nile. Monster High girlies out there, or boys, if you hear me, hello, this is your calling. But just, I love, and like Austin, and at the final gift, the Tyrone and Pablo, he's like, we know, you don't even have to say it. He's like, fine. But that Princess Cleotasha just never says please or thank you. I love him so much. And if you guys know about my little theory, I said when I reviewed both of these episodes, I actually did a double jointed review of this episode and Knights Are Brave and Strong. So if you want to hear about my little theory I had about Tasha and Austin, then go check out that review when you finish with this one, of course. But this episode is just, I would be an elite Backyardigans criminal if I did not put this in my top 5. Like, what type of a person would I be as a Tasha stan to not have this episode in my top 5? I would be the one that would be nuts. So, yeah. The Key to the Nile gladly gets my top 5 spot. And this is actually, out of all the characters episodes we get in this season, this is by far the best one. This is the best 5 character episode in this season. It has all the characters. It is the first appearance of all of them together at the same time. It's just, sorry about the sirens. It's just perfect, and I'm glad to have it as my number 5 spot. Now, coming in at number 4, as my favorite high sea adventure, we have Viking Voyage. This episode is absolutely, out of all the high sea adventures, this one is just my absolute favorite. It's just the scenes where they're going through all the obstacles is just amazing. Mermaid Tasha, like, hello. She's slaying. She is slaying. Like, I'm faster than a dolphin. I'm stronger than a whale. I can flip a Viking ship with one swish of my tail. Like, I love her so much. I love Tasha in this. I love her so much. And mermaids are tough. They are tough. Vikings are tough, but mermaids are the toughest. But the design of the Viking boat and their, if you want to be a Viking, want to be a Viking, say yeah. Everybody say yeah. Like, and hold on tight. Like, I mean, come on. I can't freak out. I gotta be cool till we get out of this whirlpool. We gotta hold on tight. Hold tight. We gotta hold on tight. Hold on tight. We gotta hold on tight with all our might and might. Like, songs are a banger to this day. And Rockabilly Lullaby, like, come on. Like, may your dreams be sweet as you fall into a snooze. Perhaps again we'll meet, but now we have got to cruise. So hush, 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 little mermaid, good night. Hush, little mermaid, sleep tight. Hush, little mermaid, good night. Like, can we get an encore for the songs? An encore. And that scene where the song made Pablo fall asleep and Unique like taps his Viking helmet and he's like, huh? Like, that made me fall asleep too. So, me and Pablo are both the sleepy heads around here. Somebody's gotta wake us up lately. I wish it was good for me. You're lucky to have a friend like Unique. But anyway, yes, this episode, gladly, is in my number 4 spot. That means we only have 3 more episodes left. Let's see what made it to our top 3, people. Coming in at number 3, we have Stomp, Stomp, Stomp. I'm stomping that, get it, stomp. Stomp, Stomp, Stomp. I'm stomping that, get it, stomp. At number 3, we have the Yeti. By far, my favorite episode of this season. And it's happily in my top 3. This episode, its songs are a banger. I will be bopping my head to them to the day I'm gone. All the scenes with them are hilarious. All the scenes with Tasha. I should know. I'm a Frozen North expert. And as her first appearance, like, it's really fun, you know? It's really fun. People say, oh, she's not the nicest here. She's so bossy. Like, why is she even here? Like, for those of you who think Tasha's bossy, like I said before, the door's right there. You can walk out. The door's right here. Like, the door's there. You can walk out if you don't like Tasha. You can walk out if you want to. Like, literally. You can walk. But anyway, the James Brown music, and I will happily say my favorite scene of the episode again. Whatever it is coming from that pile of snow. I know what it is. I know what you're going to say. But there's no such thing as a, hi guys. It's a Yeti! I love that scene so much, man. It's just so cute. And then Paul was like, where's Tasha going? Hey, Tasha, come back. Tasha, it's me, Pablo. And then she's like, it's you? Oh, it's you. I told you there's no such thing as a Yeti. I'm sorry. This episode is just, it makes me laugh. It always puts a smile on my face, and it's perfect to watch during the holiday season. I'll be watching this episode back to back along with The Secret of Snow. More on that episode when we get to season 2. But speaking of 2, coming up next at our 2nd spot, we have Castaways. We are castaways. Ahoy there, ahoy. We are castaways. Like, number 2, man. What type of a person would I not be if I put Castaways? I mean, come on. Castaways, man, for the win. Castaways. Like, this episode, I don't like it just because it blew up on TikTok. I don't like it just because of its island aesthetic. I like it because, well, it basically helped me cope during a kind of a hard time out of my life. More on that on my review of Castaways. But this episode, it just made me, rewatching it now that I'm older, I really felt for Austin. I felt like I saw me and him in this episode, because I felt the same way he felt in middle school. Like, I had so much bad things going for me. Like, I always felt like an outcaster. Like, I felt like people saw me as like just that shadow following them. And I just didn't, I felt bad. I felt bad for Austin. And I bet if he was real, he would feel the same way for me. And another thing, I hold a lot of sentimental value with this episode because it is my very first episode of the Backyardigans I saw as a little kid, as a little toddler. So, absolute sentimental value for it. I think this episode in particular, for giving me the whole experience, meeting these backyard friends. Even though one backyard friend wasn't present in this episode, but there is one more episode, the last episode, which is at our number 1 spot, which I hold very, very, very close in my heart, and is my pick for my number 1 spot in this season. So, at number 1, my favorite episode of season 1 is Riding the Range. Remember when I said in this review that this episode might be number 1? Well, it is. It is number 1, and it is my favorite episode in this season. It compacts one of my favorite music genres, hip-hop, and just makes it into the best way a Backyardigans episode can do it for me. Every song in this episode is an absolute bop. Absolute bop. And it just gets me in the mood. Like, for instance, Texas, Here I Come. There's an echo in this canyon. What else? Cowgirls, Cowboys, won't you come out tonight? Like, and of course, riding the range, let's go riding the range, yahoo! Into the wild, wild west, let's go riding the range. That better watch his tail, 'cause he's picking up his dusty trail. His roots is about to bend. Like, come on now, you can't tell me that's not a bop. It is a bop right there. Whew! It gets me turned up every single time. This episode's whole country aesthetic is so beautiful. And I wanted to mention this in my review, but I kind of forgot, but I'll say it now. But I believe that Tyrone might be actually, like, his family might actually be from Texas. Like, if that's what this episode is implying, because every cowboy role he plays in the series has, like, I mean, his cowboy characters either say he is from Texas or his accent implies he's from Texas. But if that's the case, then I'm all for it. I love my Texas folks around here. Come on now. But yeah, Riding the Range is beautiful, immaculate, my favorite Backyardigans episode, and is my pick for my favorite episode of season 1. And as with that, we can finally close the book on season 1 of the Backyardigans. Now this season, if I was to rate this whole season in general, I would give it a 9. I would give it a 9, you know? This season, it started off a bit slow sometimes, but otherwise, it was a really, really good season, you know? It was a great season. We got to know all of our characters, we got to see different sides of them, and there weren't too many villain roles in this season, but that's where season 2 comes in. And season 3. And season 4. And I feel like this season did an amazing job introducing the backyard friends we would all get to know and love, and sadly get to be put in meme material. Yeah. But on a serious note, this season, basically, I'm so happy that this season is the way that it is. And I'm just basically so happy that I finally get to close the book on season 1, which I get to call a very special season that I will always keep in my heart. So, tune in next time for these reviews. Next time, we shall be reviewing season 2, our very first episode of the Backyardigans, Mission to Mars. So, I'm at, as the Backyardigans would say, we've got the whole wide world in our yard to explore. Now it's time for us to have a snack. Meet you next time when we are back with your friends, the Backyardigans. See you all next time.